Music, were you at ease? Were you doing what you wanted to do at that time, or you were frustrated?
I was a little frustrated, I guess. I think I wasn't as fearless as I am now. I was perhaps a little too concerned with others' perception of me. And I wasn't free, and I wasn't honest by any means. I think I was going through a lot then, and I don't think that I was prepared to communicate it to people. I had barely communicated it to myself, so I don't think I was ready to be that unadulterated and naked yet. I think I was just growing up, and I was immersed in a business that can really make you insecure, and if you are insecure, then it's sort of like, it's a pretty difficult place to be. But I think because of that, it really made me a stronger person. I think the biggest change you go through in your life, even outside of music, is the changes that occur when you go from being a teenager to an adult. And from 21 onward, I mean, there's changes that are gradual, but I don't think there's any major changes in your life. Yeah.
On a commencé ici à Canada et dans le futur, on va aller aux États-Unis et l'Europe.
Est-ce que c'est un but que tu as?
Oui, certainement.
Go international.
Oh oui.
Ouais.
We wanted to be, I guess, a little different. We didn't want to, be exactly like every other dance artist out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you have to conform to a certain extent, though.
Qu'est-ce qui t'inspire pour écrire ce matériel-là? Qu'est-ce que tu écoutes?
Qu'est-ce que j'écoute? J'écoute la Madonna et Janet Jackson et toutes les choses comme ça. Quand j'étais plus jeune, c'était Olivia Newton-John.
Ouais?
Oui, mais maintenant, c'est plus les filles comme Madonna.
Ouais.
Ouais. Je suis très contente maintenant. Je suis très chanceuse, comme j'ai dit. Et le futur, il y a beaucoup de choses qui se déroulera dans le futur. Et maintenant, le temps pour n'importe quoi pour moi.
There's always a danger, like you see it in Judy Garland, child actors going through to adulthood, a real manipulation of young people within the industry. How have you been able to avoid that?
I think I reached a point where I could go either way. There was a lot of pressure and there was a lot of difficulty throughout all of it, and wasn't very secure when I was younger, although externally it looked as though I was. And I made the decision that I wasn't going to let it eat me up and spit me out, so I just kept going and grew.
Do you think that's a disadvantage that Canada knows you from all those years ago?
You know what, I don't see it as a disadvantage, because without having had the experience that I had here, I would never have gone through whatever it was that I went through, and I probably would never have written this kind of a record. So I don't see it as a disadvantage. I see it as something that has helped me out.
And how is your reaction when you see those old videos? Do you laugh at yourself now, or do you just?
I always laugh at myself. I don't laugh at it. I just see it as something, where I was at the time. I wasn't as fearless as I am now, and perhaps not as secure and as open and as unadulterated as I am now. So I just see it as a stage that I was in, and I wish I could sort of hug that person that I was, and just say it's going to be okay.
It has been such a dramatic change, though.
Yeah.
Were you always sort of working on it, and it sort of gradually took place, or did something occur almost overnight?
I was working on myself as a person quite a bit, and I think that had something to do with it. That was more the gradual part of it, and then just moving away from the environment that I had been in, and starting on my own and becoming self-sufficient and responsible for myself, and being on my own, and then moving to Los Angeles, I think, all collectively had a part to play in the change.
Because first of all, there's the change of image, the unglamorous image almost, instead of the gussied up young woman. Here's, what you see is what you get.
Yeah, I guess to a certain extent, this is me sort of rediscovering the balance. I went to the opposite end of the spectrum for a while, and I
you know, I wouldn't even dress up to this extent. Like, I just was a complete bum, and I just basically rebelled in my own little way against what I was and what I felt I should have been when I was younger. And I was giving in very much to what I felt society expected of me when I was younger. I wasn't prepared really to just stand my ground, I think, when I was younger. And then now I'm finding the happy sort of medium as to where I want to be and how much I want to conform to. It's sort of my choice.
Do you think about your bills, your ex, your deadlines, or when you think you're gonna die? Or do you long for the next distraction? And all I need now is your tonic to intercourse, a soul to dig the hole much deeper.
I've just been living and evolving and filling my subconscious with as many ideas as I can and experiencing as much as I can. And because of that, I think it just allows me to write more honest music. And that takes time to live and experience and go through the roller coaster ride. I just did what I wanted to do, and I didn't take into account, you know, that people down the road would be wanting to categorize it, or I just did whatever I wanted.
And what it all comes down to is that I haven't got it all figured out just yet.
To me, it's not the new Alanis. To me, it's just, you know, a lot of people are coming up to me just saying, no, it's like, you can't. I guess people immediately think that it was a conscious thing. But I think as soon as you listen to the record, you realize that, you know, it sort of speaks for itself. You know, it's like, I don't know, I guess I want people to listen to the record, you know, and form their own opinion of who, if I know who I am. You know, I'm just, I'm me, whatever that is. I'm open and honest, and I'm, at the same time, I'm afraid still, you know. There's a million things that everybody is, I think.
And you want to show all that to everybody?
Sure, I think it's really good to be forthright. You know, you could die tomorrow, you might as well let it all out.
I want you to know. You out. My sweater's on backwards and inside out, and you say how appropriate. I don't want to dissect everything today. I don't mean to pick you apart, you see, but I can't help it. And there I go jumping before I get your hands gone up. Slap me with a splintered rubber. Knock me to the floor, but I wasn't there already. If only I could hunt the hunter. Wow, and all I really want is some patience. Away from the angry voice. Wow, and all I really want is deliverance. Do I wear you out? You must wonder why I'm restless and all strung out. I'm consumed by the chill of solitary. You see, I'm like Stella. I like to reel it in and then spit it out. I'm frustrated by your apathy. And I am frightened by the corrupted ways of this land. If only I could meet the maker. And I am fascinated by the spiritual man. I'm humbled by his humble nature. Wow, and what I would give to find a soulmate. a fight of silence. Here, can you handle this? Did you think about your bills, your ex, your deadlines? Or when you think you're gonna die? Or did you long for the next distraction? And all I need now is intellectual intercourse, a soul to take the whole much deeper. And I have no concept of time or its span. If only I could kill the killer. Whoa, and all I really want is some peace, man. A place to find a common ground. And all I really want is a wavelength.
J'ai commencé quand j'avais 9 ans. J'ai écrit mon premier chanson et j'avais un petit 45, petit disque.
Un 45 tours.
45 tours que j'ai...
T'avais 9 ans?
Oui.
Incroyable.
Oui, je savais que la musique était quelque chose que serait partie de ma vie.
Le titre de l'album, ça réfère à quoi exactement? Jagged Little Pill?
It's a lyric that was taken from a song, You Learn, which is on the record, and I guess makes reference to the fact that everything that you go through in life, when you're in it, when you're immersed in a really dark time, you don't really realize the lesson you're learning until you look back on it. And in this case, a lot of what I was dealing with in the record was not necessarily all Pollyanna and all positive. It was both sides. So.
L'album, tu l'as fait par exemple avec aussi, comment il s'appelle, Glenn Ballard, qui a coécrit.
Oui, la musique
ça.
avec moi.
C'est qui, Glenn?
He's a producer that's written. He wrote "Man in the Mirror" for Michael Jackson with Saida Garrett.
Ah, c'est pas pire.
He's a great songwriter
C'est pas fun.
and a great producer. His style had been different from what he and I did together, but we both were ready to start with a clean slate. So it's a real synergy.
Et comment est-ce que tu l'as rencontré?
He writes for MCA Publishing, and so do I. And I had written with a lot of people and had sort of given up on the whole collaborative process until I met Glenn.
It's all your fault.
Did you have to leave Canada to find yourself creatively?
Yes.
Why?
I say yes only in retrospect. At the time, I didn't know I had to leave Canada. I think I say yes because I met Glenn Ballard and because I tapped into the creative energy down there. It could have happened up here, it just didn't. So I don't know if it has anything necessarily to do with the different mindsets or different cultures, and it truly is a different culture. I didn't realize how much of a change it would be, but there's a certain potency and vitality down there that I never felt anywhere else. And just people down there are a lot more forthright, the people that I was working with in the circles that I was spending a lot of time with. So I think I did have to leave, yes.
You've already won me over, in spite of me.
When I first started writing this record, it was probably one of the most spiritual experiences I've ever had. It was, these songs were all written within 15 to 45 minutes, music and lyrics all at once, and recorded sometimes an hour later. And I'd listen to some of the songs the next day and not even remember having done them or written them or anything. And I know that it was a real subconscious thing, and it actually was so humbling because I didn't, because of my analytical nature, that was the first time that I couldn't explain
something. I couldn't figure out how it all came to be and the way that it all happened. To this day, I shake my head in disbelief when I talk to Glenn about it too. It's like, we don't know what happened. For about a week or so, I expressed my fear with, I guess, how forthright everything was to Glenn, my collaborator. And he and I talked about it, and basically I talked myself out of being afraid of being that honest, because I guess the alternative was to censor things and to tell half-truths.
Yeah.
And I vowed to myself that I'd never do that again. Now that I've tapped into this way of communicating, I really can't see myself ever doing it in any other way, really. This is the way, I mean, the music will evolve and change, but the way that I write and the place that it comes from in my subconscious, that's how I write now. Yeah.
I know the version of me. Is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater?
Everyone's got a gamut of emotions, and this record is just me tapping into as many as you possibly can on 12 or 13 songs.
I don't want to be the filler if the void is solely yours. I don't want to be your glass of single malt whiskey hidden in the bottom drawer. I don't want to be a bandage if the wound is not mine. Lend me some fresh air. Oh, I don't want to be adored for what I merely represent to you. And I don't want to be your babysitter. You're a very big boy now. I don't want to be your mother. I didn't carry you in my womb for 9 months. Show me the back door. Visiting hours are 9 to 5, and if I show up at 10 past 6, will I worry to know that you find some way to sneak me in that door? My name's Tabasco with the holes along the bottom. You say it's too much to ask for, and I'm not that actor. No, no, no. I am not the. No. I don't want to be the sweeper of the eggshells that you walk upon, and I don't want to be your other half. I believe that 1 and 1 make 2. I don't want to be your food or the light from the fridge on your face at midnight. Yeah, what are you hungry for? Oh, I don't want to be the glue that holds your pieces together. I don't want to be right. I'll see this pedestal is high and I'm afraid of heights, and I don't want to be lived through a vicarious occasion. Please open the window. Visiting hours are 9 to 5, and if I show up at 10 past 6, will I worry and know that you find some way to sneak me in that door? My name's Tabasco, the holes along the bottom. You say it's too much to ask for, and I am not that actor. No, no. Oh, I am not the. No. And I don't want to live on someday when my motto is last week, and I don't want to be responsible for your fractured heart and its wounded beats. And I don't want to be a substitute for the smoke you've been inhaling. Well, what do you think me? What do you think me for? Visiting hours are 9 to 5, and if I show up at 10 past 6, will I worry and know that you find some way to sneak me in that door? My name's Tabasco, the holes along the bottom. You say it's too much to ask for, and I am not that actor.
Not the Doctor avec Alanis Morissette, enregistré l'été dernier.
Turn 98, you won the lottery, died the next day.
How did the association with Maverick come along?
We were talking to a whole bunch of different companies actually, and the record was essentially done, and I think I sort of resigned myself to the fact that I'd have to sign with the lesser of all evils as far as companies went. But then I met Guy O'Siri at Maverick, and the company's a boutique label, and they're very focused on the artists. They're very, they give you your space when you're writing. They're not breathing down the back of your neck, and they really understood me, I felt, and it could have been the first time that a record company actually understood me as a writer and a person, so it was sort of hands down with Maverick.
Play it safe, was afraid to fly.
Did you feel the ghost of Madonna, or the shadow of Madonna?
No, I mean, I think she plays her role as CEO of her own record company beautifully, because if for no other reason, she's an artist herself, and I think she understands that you need your space, and she's very supportive and loves the record, so yeah, it's good. When I was younger, I listened to her music. I listened to everything when I was younger, so I'm sure that, you know, it was really sort of, I guess what happened when I moved to Los Angeles, I had a whole different perception of what the whole celebrity thing was, and people were very real to me down there. So I think I met her at the right time in my life. If I had met her when I was 14, it probably would have been overwhelming, but, you know, I have a different view of it all now, so.
How is it like working with Flea?
Flea and Dave Navarro actually, Jimmy Boyle, who's the man that mixed the song, asked if they could, you know, try out a few things on the song You Ought to Know, and I was curious to see what they would do with it, because they're great musicians, and they did a great job. You know, the single that was released is their mix, and then on the record there's a hybrid mix of the one we originally had and theirs. And they were pros, you know, they did a really great job.
I care, but I'm restless. I'm here, but I'm really gone.
Do you feel you want to do someday TV or movies or something in front of the camera?
I mean, yeah, it's not a priority for me. No. But, you know, I haven't really thought about it. I know that I can act, but I don't know if that's, if it was something really compelling, you know, something that I could really tap into on some visceral emotion.
You like doing clips?
Videos? Yeah. Yeah. That's actually another way of not acting, but just going back to the same place you do when I'm on stage. It's the same sort of headspace, and I really, I loved it. I mean, we went to the Mojave Desert to shoot the first video in Death Valley. I mean, those trips are so great, because not only are you shooting a video to visually communicate this song, you're also out there experiencing a whole different place and people, and there's so many people around. It's like it's different personalities, and it's great.
I love editing. I love writing treatments. I love working collaboratively with directors, and just having that sort of visual extension of a song or of a piece of music, or not, you know, just having it the other end, and I love it.
What's the matter, Mary Jane? Had a hard day as you place the don't disturb sign on the door. You lost your place in line again. What a pity. You never seem to want to dance anymore.
see the rose that fell on your pillow.
What do you think about women in music in general?
I think they're beautiful, particularly now. I think a lot of women are becoming fearless, really, you know, with what they communicate in songs, and they're not apologetic because they have absolutely no reason to be. And they're strong and wonderful. I love women.
Do you have some favorite bands or?
My favorite bands, as far as women go, I loved Tori Amos's Little Earthquakes record. When that came out, that just completely blew me away, and I was a puddle on the floor. Who else do I listen to? I love Joni Mitchell, and I listen to Janis Joplin, and just any woman who's writing from that honest place, I have to respect her.
Took me for a joke, yeah, took me for a shot. It took a long, hard look in my eyes, and then played golf forever. She's like a fish, yeah.
How about stage fright right now? Have you ever suffered from stage fright?
I'd get nervous a lot, but it would never be debilitating. You know, I wouldn't be puking up my food before I go on stage or anything, although I don't eat before I go on because I get a little queasy. But when I first started playing these songs, I was a little nervous before the shows, but as time goes on and I just become more comfortable on stage, it gets less and less.
On stage, it's just going back to that place that I was at when I wrote it, and a lot of the times it just gets really emotional on stage, and sometimes I'm not only physically spent at the end of the show, but I'm just emotionally spent too, and I just have to have some time alone to get out of it.
Was there always this angry, naughty woman waiting to get out?
Oh, she was definitely always there. I chose consciously not to show it because I don't think I was prepared to be that naked, really. I didn't have the confidence to be able to stand up for what I felt, I don't think, but now I do. It's easy, it's effortless now.
There was a slap in the face, how quickly I was replaced, and I am thinking of me when you
How about the individual that you ought to know is all about? Is there a feeling that this is almost your revenge, the success of your single?
Oh, God, it's sick. It's so twisted. It's twisted. I had no idea. And you know, the ironic thing is I don't even think he knows that this song's about him.
Or maybe it's better he doesn't.
You know what? I think it is, because the last thing I want to do is to be that vindictive. I did it for my own reasons, and I see no reason to drag the people that some of these songs are about through the mud with me. You know, it's not their problem. It's mine.
But with that song, there is this feeling that almost, just the visual that might come across is that you're almost a fatal attraction kind of gal, you know?
Who isn't? At one point in your life, everyone is, I think. Everyone has that codependent sort of, you make me feel worthy, and without you, I am nothing. And hopefully people grow out of it, and I have, you know, but I think at one point, whether you're 12 or whether you're 30, I mean, at some point, I think everybody is obsessed or infatuated with somebody. If you listen to the record as a whole, it's pretty balanced. You know, there's the subconscious, there's the emotion, then there's the rational sort of evolved self in there too. I mean, if you were to listen to one song and isolate it, I think it could be a little scary. Yes, I do.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
I feel confident about where I am right now, and I have no idea where it's going to go. I'm just, my role right now is just to keep writing and creating and performing what I feel, you know, and the external sort of part of it, I mean, I even go as far as sort of telling my manager not necessarily to tell me where it is on the charts or how many pieces are being sold, because that's not why I do it. I mean, it's interesting, and I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel good to have people really respond. It does, but it's not my priority by any means. My number one priority is to evolve as a person and to be happy, and, well, not necessarily happy, but happy with how the gamut of emotions that you can experience.